Hello, YouTube and universe, so welcome to Scarstorm Productions. I'm your host, Morro, here to bring you everything new on your favorite brands and more. And today, we'll be taking a look at the new reveals on the June 24th Hasbro Pules stream. But before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification so you don't miss another video like this. Because maybe a small click for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. Thank you. And without further ado, let's begin. Now, as some people may not know, I'm not the biggest fan of studio series. I'm not the biggest fan of the Michael Bay movies, and the live-action movies aren't really my forte. So, normally, if I buy something from studio series, it's either Gamer Edition or 86, or one of the movies that I actually enjoy, like the Bumblebee movie, TF1, and Rise of the Beast. But with this, it's all my stuff this time, and I'm excited for that. Now, let's start off with the figure we talked about a while ago. First up, we have the TF1 Alita 1. Now, I talked about her on the Transformer Day reveals like last year. Oh God, it was last year when this was revealed for the first time. And oh man, I was excited for it. But it's been a while and it just made me want it even more. Now, for how I see it, it looks amazing. Though the only thing I don't like is it doesn't have arms. Wrist swivel. I was about to say arm swivel. That wouldn't make any sense because it obviously does have arm swivels. But anyway, though it has no wrist swivel because of the transformation. And other than that, it's a really amazing figure and it looks to be very articulate. I mean, it has the standard articulation that most other figures have, and it's also on ball joints for the larger limbs. So that'll be pretty cool. And when it goes into vehicle mode, it looks amazing. The accessories, that being the tracker gun that almost everyone used in the movie, and the jetpack go on seamlessly. Well, the jetpack goes on seamlessly. The gun just hangs out to the side. But yeah, it looks pretty good, and I won't complain about it. Now, sticking to TF1, the next figure we have is TF1 Starscream. And might I say, he looks pretty good. And the only thing I don't really like about this figure is the colors they used for it. Yes, I know this might be accurate to how he looked in the movie, but it's not as shiny as it was in the movie, if that makes sense. Because, yes, it's the exact same shade. But for some reason, it doesn't work on the figure as it did in the movie. I don't know why that is, though, even though, as I said, it's the exact same. But other than that, it looks like it's a pretty good figure. And just like Alita, it seems the arms and legs are on ball joints with mushroom pegs going to the lower parts of the arms and legs, which looks pretty good. And with how that is, it's probably going to have good articulation as well. Hopefully, when you try to move the arms backwards, the wings don't get in the way. But all in all, the sculpt looks pretty good. I even like the head sculpt, and it actually has a painted face instead of just being blank. Shows how they're dedicating to the figures a little bit. But yeah, all in all, it looks pretty good. For his accessories, of course, he comes with his null rays. They're on 5mm ports. And he also comes with a blaster that comes from spare parts of his alt mode, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Well, you know what, let's talk about it right now. The blue part of the gun actually goes in the front of the jet in vehicle mode, while the handle is actually the fin on top of the jet mode, which is pretty cool. How you can actually take parts from the vehicle mode and just make it into his own personal blaster. It works really well. Now, this weapon wasn't in the movie, but maybe it was in the concept and it got into this. Either way, it looks pretty cool. Now, moving to his Tetrajet form, and ooh, that is sleek. It looks amazing with the cream white and the red going down in. It just looks perfect, and the vents also look good on them as well. Though I never understood why they need cockpits even though they don't carry anyone. I know they explained it in the line continuity with the Quintessons fitting inside, but as you know in TF1, the Quintessons are almost the size of the Transformers, so I don't see why they have cockpits, but that's just a minor nitpick of mine. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And if you're wondering where the blue piece goes in the vehicle mode from the blaster, it actually goes on the underside of the nose. But other than that, yeah, looks pretty good, and I can't lie. I wonder how they're gonna do the other Seekers, because as you know, each Seeker in TF1 had their own distinct profile. So I'm just wondering how they're gonna do that. But other than that, yeah, looks pretty good, and I will get this as soon as I get the chance. For our next figure, we have Concept Series Age of Extinction KSI Widow, or better known as Widowmaker. Now, if you don't know who Widowmaker is, I wouldn't be surprised. They are a concept art series character, which means they come from the concept art of the series that they came from. For example, this was from Age of Extinction, and this was supposed to be Stinger. He was supposed to be a female KSI drone. And honestly, I wish she was still in the movie. Well, technically, she could technically be in it because we have so many KSI drones in the movie, we don't know who's who. And I could see her just being some background character with the many KSI drones. So, yeah, I could see how this would fit into it without having to be the concept series. But since this is the concept series, I'm okay with it. Man, I say concept series a lot. But anyway, in the concept art, she was more of a red to go in line with Stinger, but to make her more unique, the designers decided to make her orange, which honestly makes her very unique because we rarely have any orange Transformers. So I'm always happy to get one in my collection. And I'm always happy to get more fembots in my collection because we honestly need more of them that are actually good molds. And from this, it's going to be amazing. Now, it seems to have some engineering that Q had from the earlier wave this year, which maybe the transformation will be unique, but since the lead designer from Studio Series left, I can kind of tell that the people from Generations are coming in and kind of simplifying the transformations, which isn't my personal cup of tea because it leaves a ton of kibble in the robot mode. But for Widowmaker, it kind of works. It kind of gives her a cape in the back, which is pretty cool. And for her accessory, she comes with 2 arm cannons, which, yeah, they look pretty good, even though they're not painted. Now, moving to her alt mode, she turns into a fully licensed McLaren. And with me being a fan of the McLarens, that's why I'm getting this for the alt mode specifically. Because look at this. The orange McLaren looks amazing with the black highlights around it. It just looks good. But anyway, that's it for Widowmaker. Moving on, we have Scavenger, the 5th Constructicon. And he looks great. I like how instead of just having the purple in one area, it's just his whole lower half moving to a silver grill for the chest and the neon green coming out from the sides to finally form his arms. And he seems to have the same kind of engineering as Bone Crusher because, for one, his arms seem to be on the ball joints just like his, and the legs seem to transform exactly the same. But, oh no, it looks pretty good. And from the looks of it, it might have the same waist swivel as him as well. But oh no, the articulation looks pretty good, and I can't really complain about it. Moving to his vehicle mode, and yeah, it looks good. He turns into an excavator, and I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just an excavator. There's nothing really to say about it. But oh no, looks pretty good. I especially like how the treads are just purple. But other than that, that's really it when it comes to Scavenger. Now that's it for the Deluxe class. Let's move up to the next class. That being the Voyager class. And the first one up, moving to Gamer Edition, still a stupid name, we have Thundercracker. Now he was leaked a long while ago, and I was going to make a video on it, but it didn't seem that important to me at the time. So, yeah. But anyway, let's talk about him now. And might I say he looks pretty good. It's the same secret mold I talked about with the Studio Series Gamer Edition Starscream and the Gamer Edition Skywarp, which I'm actually making a random review for. But it's going to be down the pipeline. Now, both of those videos are in the description down below as well, if you guys want to watch that. But anyway, my simplified thoughts on them, it's an amazing mold, and I absolutely love it. The articulation is amazing, and yeah, it's honestly one of the best molds in Gamer Edition. The only thing that I don't like, and a ton of people, is the chest part, but it doesn't affect it in the long run. It's still an amazing mold. Moving to his accessories, of course, he comes with the same melee weapon that Thundercracker, that Skywarp and Starscream came with. Woo. I got those two confused for a second. But he also, before the gun he comes with the same one that Barricade and the Decepticon Trooper came with. That being the assault gun. I don't remember the in-game name for it, so you can put down in the comments down below. And moving to vehicle mode, it's the same Tetrajet that we've seen with the other two, but painted blue this time. And honestly, this has to be my favorite one because it's more consistent compared to the other two. But all in all, it's a pretty good mold, and I would recommend getting it if you can get your hands on it. Now, moving on to the second Voyager class, we have Mixmaster, the final Constructicon. And he looks great. Honestly, I will not lie, he looks like the perfect rendition of Mixmaster. Everything looks amazing on him, and the sculpt is just perfect. I also like all the other Constructicons, it's lime green and purple, but with a red spot on it to represent the buttons. Also black buttons on his lower abdomen, and the Decepticon logo in the center of his stomach. But the only thing I would wish for is that we could see the nozzles that are normally above his head. But other than that, pretty good, and I will not lie, it's perfect. For his blaster, not much to say about it. It seems like a generic one. I don't know anything specific about it, but yeah, that's really it when it comes to that. Moving to his vehicle mode. Ooh! He turns into a cement mixer. Which, of course, Mixmaster, Cement Mixer, makes sense. And it looks pretty good. I love how it has a silver grill on top, and you aren't really able to see it in the front of Robot Mode. If you look in the back, you can obviously see it because his legs turn in to the front of Vehicle Mode. And it honestly looks seamless because if you put the two together, you could barely tell unless you look at the back. And hopefully, I wish the Cement Mixer at the back could spin. But if it can't, oh well. Either way, it looks pretty good, and I'm definitely getting this. And with us finally having Mixmaster, they finally showed off the completed Devastator. And he looks magnificent, as always. The big green himself, the weapon of the Decepticons. And yeah, honestly, hopefully, I'm able to find a 2-pack with Long Haul and... I always forget the second one's name. But anyway, hopefully I can get the Commander class so I can finally get a combiner. I don't have any of the modern ones in my collection. So this is my pet peeve, to finally get Devastator. Now that is it for the Voyager class. Let's move on to the leader, that being the 86 Megatron. And I have been waiting for this for a long time. Now, originally I made its own video, but it didn't end up getting released, so I'm just going to give my thoughts on it right now. Starting off in Robot Mode, and yes, this thing looks amazing. I mean, just look at it. It's just perfection. It looks exactly like how Megatron did in the G1 show and the G1 movie. It's just perfection at its best. And one thing I do like about it, it seems they were more focused on the robot mode instead of vehicle mode, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it shows because this is just perfect. He even has the barrel on his back like the original, and this is amazing. I even like the two-tone legs he has, which, even though I prefer them being black for the most part, the light gray works. And plus, we obviously know this is going to be recolored eventually, and it will give us the right version soon enough. So either way, I'm just happy about this figure. For accessories, of course, he comes with his fusion cannon. What else will he come with, if I'm being honest? Because if a Megatron doesn't come with something that resembles a fusion cannon, is it truly a Megatron or just a pretender? And one thing I do like about it is, yes, it can go on the side of his arm, but it can go right on top because, as you can see, there's a little peg right. Well, not really a peg, it's more of a little nub, and you can attach the fusion cannon right on it, which is pretty cool. And harkens to how the animation model had it on the front of the arm and not the side. For other accessories, he comes with, of course, the barrel that goes on his back, which is detachable. And one thing I do like about it is you can kind of recreate the scene from TF1 with Megatron using 2 fusion cannons on both of his arms, which is pretty cool. And for the other 2 accessories, he comes with him in gun mode, which, yeah, that makes sense because we know Megatron isn't going to turn back into a gun anytime soon. So at least we're getting a good accessory with it. And is it just me, or does the barrel look like it's detachable? Because I can't be the only one that's seeing that, right? Anyway, he also comes with a laser sword he used in the movie, which is pretty good. And you could do a showdown when if you have the 86 Ultimates, which I don't. You could recreate the scene of them fighting each other, and that would be so cool to do stop motion for. Anyway, that's really it about robot mode. I don't want to gush too much about it, because if I did, we would have been here all day. But let's move on to the vehicle mode. And yeah, as I said, you can obviously tell they were more focused on the robot mode when it comes to this. But either way, it still looks pretty good. The only problem I truly have with it is the back of it. But other than that, it looks pretty good, and all in all, a good tank mode. I also like how everything just fits on there perfectly, except for the sword. It just hangs on the side, but all in all, it's pretty good. And based off of the leaks we got a while ago, we already know that the front of the tank can swivel, and I always love it when they actually manage to make the tank transformers have the swivel where the cannon is. It always is perfect. Now that's it for Megatron. Let's move on to the next leader class, that being a reissue of the 86 Grimlock. Now this is very exciting for those who weren't able to get it, like me. Now, I was just going to get the G2 Grimlock because I honestly like the blue on it, but now I'm debating on whether to get this one instead, so I could just have a gray Grimlock. But either way, I am getting a Grimlock, which will be good. And of course, in Dino mode, he looks perfect already, and we have Wheelie just riding on top of him. So, no, that's a pretty good reissue that we're getting. Next up, we have the Timelines, Megatron, and Bumblebee. Starting off with Bumblebee, who is the face of Hearts of Steel, in my opinion. He looks amazing, very accurate to how he looks in the comics. I love the yellow that they use for it, mixed with the black and gold trimming around it. Looks pretty good. Though for the chest, it looks a little off to me. Maybe because it might be mistransformed, but I can't tell. But for accessories, he comes with his hammer and blaster, which looks pretty good. And I even like how the hammer has the Autobot logo on it. It looks so cool. Now, all in all, the robot mode for it looks pretty good. Moving to his vehicle mode, and he turns into this little train, and it looks pretty good. I like how compact it looks, and you can see where everything from robot mode essentially goes into it. And it kind of looks pretty clean as well. I won't lie about that. And all in all, it looks like a pretty good vehicle mode. But what I think everyone wants from this set is the Megatron that comes with it. And I have to say, it looks amazing. An all-black Megatron look. I know this might be a reference to something. I don't know what, though. Maybe one of the Micron versions of the gun. Because I know there were 3 different guns they got picked from to make Megatron. So is this a reference to one of the guns? I'm not that sure. Maybe. Just let me know in the comments if I'm right about that. But anyway, let's move on to his alt mode. And he turns into a cannon. Now, I don't mean like some futuristic cannon. I mean an old-fashioned Midwestern cannon. And it looks pretty good. I like that the wheels are just spiked. And I don't really know what else to say about it. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. Now, we also got some reveals for some future stuff And honestly, these two are amazing. Starting off, we have Arachnid. And oh boy, does she look good. I mean, look at this. It looks very accurate to how she did in the movie. And it is amazing. And it's just a deluxe class, so it's kind of affordable as well. Also, the sculpt absolutely looks amazing in this. I mean, I love how you can see all the mechanical parts, yet it still just flows perfectly together. And I also like how each part is translated very well from the animation model to the actual figure. And as you know, like, look at her feet, for example. Originally, she didn't have heels because of the animation model. So they had to make something for her to actually stand up, and it works perfectly. And you can also use the back two legs to support her as well, like they did in the movie, which is also pretty cool. Though I'm wondering for the head sculpt if she's gonna have the multiple eyes. If she does, that would be perfect. I also like how bulky the upper body is as well, which most fembot figures aren't actually that bulky, so I'm always happy when we get more stuff like that in our Transformer figures. And as I said, I also like the hind legs, I mean the back legs, like the ones that are on her back. I mean, they look perfectly, and the sculpting is amazing for them. And they also go perfect when she transforms into vehicle mode, because they turn into the whole turbine in the back, which that's just amazing looking. Like, it looks very accurate to how she did in the movie, and I even like how the legs turn into the little propeller turbines in the front, and they also seem to be able to be moved as well, which is awesome. And all in all, I think this is going to be a really amazing figure, and I cannot wait for it to be released. And the next figure that was revealed was the leader class, the Voyager class, Alpha Trion. Oh boy, am I excited for that, because Alpha Trion is one of my favorite primes, and I'm happy we're getting two versions of him out of 2 years. But I love how this looks. It got the whole rundown look perfectly for Alpha Trion. And this is probably going to be my go-to figure for him if I don't end up liking the Age of the Primes version. But knowing me and being a fan of how he looked in War Dawn, I'm definitely getting the G1 version. But it looks amazing, and I just love the sculpt. I also like how they turn his tail into a mace weapon instead of a sword like the mainline version, because I feel like a mace fits that better, in my opinion. But as I said, I love the sculpt. I loved how damaged it looked, and it looks perfect. Moving to his beast mode, and oh, that looks good. Even though it's in the red and blue model that they use for it, it still looks good. And you can see the moss patches going on him where the main for a beast mode would normally be, and oh, that just looks good. And all in all, I'm going to love these figures when they come out. They also said we're going to get some more stuff in the concept series, and I'm happy about that, since so far the concept series has been hitting. So, all in all, that's probably the best wave we've gotten so far in a while. And other than that, that's really it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. And let me know in the comments, how do you guys feel about these figures? Are you excited for them, or are you skeptical? If that's everything, that's a wrap. Fade to black.